It's been a couple weeks with Mario Kart World, and I've got to say, I'm actually really enjoying this game. Maybe in a way I didn't give the Switch 2 and Mario Kart a proper chance, just because I had watched videos. I was like, oh wow, it all feels like the whole launch of this console and these games is just not going very well. But after dedicating myself to I was like, I'm gonna play my Steam Deck for the next month. I'm gonna play nothing but my Steam Deck. I ended up kind of putting the Steam Deck aside and going, you know what? I think I'm gonna play my Switch 2. And every time I think to pick up a game, even games like Panelled Upon, like my favorite puzzle game, I won't pick it up because I think to myself, I think I might like to just go for a drive in Mario Kart World. Now this is what you see when you boot up Mario Kart World, but if you press the start, or the plus button rather, it just jumps straight into free roam. There are no loading screens whatsoever, and I feel like that is a big deal. Just knowing that I could turn on the game and not have to load up a level or have to have any kind of decision paralysis about what I'm going to do today is amazing, because I was just like, okay, just go straight into free roam. But actually what happens is I get kind of excited about going into Knockout Tour. So even if I go into free roam, it's just like, you know what? I'm going to be listening to a YouTube video in the background, or I'm going to wait for the coffee to brew. Sometimes I have to wait for the kettle for the hot water to boil so that I can actually make myself some coffee. And it's just like, I don't actually want to jump into a race. I don't want to jump into a Grand Prix knowing that that's going to be the next, 10, 15 minutes of my life. It's like, I'm just going to turn on the game and just drive around and, just see what's around. And no matter whether you actually have a goal in free roam, it is just very satisfying to continually use the basic Mario Kart mechanics, which are, hold down the dash button, and then when you let go, you do a jump. Or if you turn when you do it, you also do a drift. You can do standard jumps by letting go of the button, but you can also do fun jumps by pressing a direction at the same time, and it'll kind of do a little flip. And sometimes you can flip your way onto little speed ramps. It is really satisfying to just press the dash button and then do a little jump, or then press the dash button and then do a little flip to the side like that. And I feel like this is an important step when you're trying to figure out what to do with yourself for the next half an hour. A lot of the time these days, we jump straight into checking X, checking Twitter, or checking Instagram, or checking Facebook, or, checking YouTube and watching a YouTube video. And one of the main things that I used to do, which I still do to an extent these days, is I think to myself, okay, well, I have to wait for the water to boil, but that's going to be boring. That's a waste of 3 or 4 minutes of my life if I don't do anything. So sometimes I search for a YouTube video to watch, and then I'll put the video on while the water is boiling. But what's actually happened is I've extended the coffee making process by an extra 5 or 10 minutes, because I've spent 2 or 3 minutes looking for a video, because a lot of videos are a complete waste of time, and especially the way YouTube just sends you all sorts of stuff. It's I don't know, it just feels like there's a lot of propaganda being sent towards you. It's just I don't want any of this politics, and I don't want any of these AI channels. I just want to put on something I don't know, maybe I should just choose a podcast, but there is a point where you just waste time deciding what content to watch, just so that the next few minutes aren't wasted. And there's a whole big conversation to be had about being over engaged and being scared of boredom and being afraid of actually addressing the task of turning things off, picking up your pencil and starting your essay, or starting your work, or starting your video plan, or making a script, whatever it is you're about to do. All that to say, basically, free roam is actually a really genius idea. Not because I'm actually going to free roam for the next 3 hours of my life and discover every possible thing you can do in Mario Kart, just because it's really fun to go for a drive. Even if it weren't Mario Kart, I start to wonder if maybe a lot of the games that I play, which are racing games, I don't enjoy them because of the racing aspect. I just like to go for a drive, and that's sometimes something I'll do in real life. But the implication of driving in real life is that, you're wasting petrol. If you're not going for a very long drive, it's not really great health for your car battery to do a very short drive. But in free roam in Mario Kart, it's just well, I'm just going to turn it on. My brain is just going to enjoy doing some very autopilot things with my hands while I kind of zone out and think about other things that I want to do. And this has been an amazing experience. And what I want to say is that it goes on after maybe a couple minutes of playing free roam. I'll actually jump out of here, quit free roam, and I'll move into my favorite mode at the moment, which is Knockout Tour. Now, the reason I didn't give this game a fair shake in my original first video doing my first impressions of Mario Kart World is because it says here in the corner, stay ahead in a race of endurance. And every time I see the word endurance written in a video game, after basically decades of playing video games, it's taught my mind to believe that this is just an extra mode that was tacked on because they needed some extra stuff to pad out the menu. It's just like, well, you could play the proper game modes, or you could just like turn the time limit off. Mostly it comes from fighting games, survival mode, which is basically like, okay, it really doesn't matter. Let's just see how many opponents you can knock out. But Knockout Tour is actually a proper game mode. It makes survival actually interesting and fun, and it is my preferred way to play this game. First of all, knowing that I don't have to win is really important. Like, it's very unlikely that I'm actually going to... I've never finished a Knockout Tour in first place. Sometimes it'll end me in 5th place. It's like, okay, you didn't make it to the top 4. Whatever it is, I feel like the goal is just to... It's like somewhere between Grand Prix and free roam. Basically, I'm just going to drive around until I decide what to do with myself, and I'm not going to feel disappointed with myself for not being fully focused. And so what I really enjoy about this mode is that it's kind of okay to play a video game mode which is like sort of competitive, but I don't actually have to be switched on. I don't have to feel like... I think the best analogy is that when you play Ridge Racer, it's all about doing a perfect lap every single time. Like, if you don't drive perfectly, then sometimes you can't really recover. Even if you drive really, really well in the final lap, it's like you're not going to really get into the top 3 places. It feels like you're really aiming to be first place every time, otherwise, you know, what's the point of actually turning the game on? Whereas I feel like with Mario Kart, it's okay. It's okay to not feel like I'm going to be paying attention. It feels okay to be making a video game and chatting at the same time, because the goal for me isn't to get in first place here. It's just to enjoy being with a bunch of other people. I mean, they're all computer players, but that's another discussion I'd like to have. It's actually quite a lot of fun just playing this in one player. I haven't been online a single time in this game, and I'm already having quite a lot of fun just zooming around with these computer players, just doing the things that I was doing in free roam. Mostly holding down the drift button so that I can do the jump like this, do a little jump like that, or drift around the course and just constantly do little autopilot things. And there's another big discussion to be had here where I find that doing things on autopilot is where I get a lot of the joy in video gaming. And I'm sure that a lot of people also feel this way. I'm pretty sure that's part of the reason why cozy gaming has been or was such a big movement for a little while. But sometimes games, I think we talked about this when I did my Atelier Ryza review, it's like, it's a game that kind of respects your time and doesn't make you feel like, okay, you've got to save the world in the next 25 hours of your life and you've got to do it properly and you've got to use all the items super efficiently, otherwise it's all going to go wrong. I feel like there is a really great space, especially for gamers who, you know, have grown up and have become adults now and need to do other things with their lives. It's like, how do I squeeze a few games in here, and not just like regular competitive games? Like, how do I squeeze in cozy games? How do I squeeze in these sort of mindless free roaming drives? How do I squeeze these things into my life and make them fit and make me not feel guilty for doing them? And that's kind of a really important aspect of it. When you're an adult, no matter how good the game is, no matter how much money you've like dedicated to it, there is this point where you start to feel like every minute that you're doing something which is fun, like you ending up feeling guilty for doing it. Now again, there's another big discussion to be had about, you know, planning out fun and making sure that you schedule fun into your time. But that's, you know, that's something we can discuss another time. I think that is really important. But for general people who aren't running their lives like that and tend to find like, oh, you know, every time I turn on a video game, I realize like, this is not the most important thing I could be doing. I could be making extra money to support my family, or I could be planning out other things, or I could be cleaning the house, or I could be sorting out other things. And what's really great about Knockout Tour and Free Roam is that it's like, well, it really doesn't matter how far I get in this. It's like, I'm in 12th place, but I know I'm not going to get first place. Like, the fact that I kind of know that I'm not going to end up in first place anyway means like I could just kind of pause it and turn it off and go and do something else. And I think that's really important. Knowing that I could turn this game off at any point and I wouldn't really lose anything. It wouldn't have been like a wasted effort. Whereas when I was turning on my Steam Deck, I kept turning on RPGs. Okay, RPGs on Steam Deck is amazing. We could make a whole video just talking about that. When I turn on RPGs, for example, one of the RPGs I've been playing is Skyrim. I go in, and although it's like to some extent, okay, I made a little bit of progress, but not a lot of progress. I kind of know like what I'm supposed to be doing. Like I know I'm supposed to be trying to get out of this dungeon. At the moment, I'm in this dungeon, and I beat the boss. But then, as you go further into the dungeon, just more stuff appears. It's like, I've got no health. What am I going to do? I've got to come up with a better solution. Maybe I should just go backwards. Knowing that there's a task, and I might not be able to finish it in 5 minutes. I might not be able to finish it in 15 minutes. I feel like I might go for 20 minutes of gaming and then end up dying anyway and having to start again from the beginning, from my save point. I know that there's a possibility that I'll feel like the time was wasted. Whereas these games where you have free roam and knockout, and I assume, again, I don't play a lot of cozy games, that's something that I really love about having a Rubik's Cube. Is like, I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time with this. At most, it's going to take me a minute. And, if I'm really fast, maybe it'll take 30 seconds. I'm not going to feel like time was wasted if this doesn't go right. But a lot of video games, and this is not like something they're doing on purpose, but just the way that video games are built, when we were kids, we had a lot of time to spend because we felt like we had all the time in the world, because in a way, we kind of did. But when you're an adult, you just have to think about the time differently. Sometimes you do have an hour or two to throw into a video game, and if you don't make a lot of progress and you have to start over again, that's fine. But Mario Kart World, especially this mode right here, like I've just gone completely off course, but I'm fine with it. It's like, whatever. I'm just trying to see how far I can get. It's like a little bonus information. It's like, if I get knocked out right at the start, that's whatever. If I get knocked out after maybe I get to 5th place, that's fine. If I get knocked out after I get to 3rd place, it's all fine. I can even do a lot of the things that I just normally would do in free roam, where it's just like I can try grinding on that rail. That's not even really important to the racing aspect of this, but it's just like, it's kind of like a glorified, again, it's halfway between free roam, cozy, and an actual Grand Prix race. One of the big discoveries for me that I just really enjoyed was discovering that maybe I just like going for a drive. It's not actually that I like racing games. It's not that I actually like trying to find the most efficient racing line. It's just so expansive. I don't need to feel like, okay, after I've done 3 laps of this course, the race is going to end. I'm going to have to re-choose what Grand Prix I'm going to choose, or rather just choose whether I want to continue playing Grand Prix after all. Removing decision paralysis is such a nice thing in a video game if you have grown up, if you grew up playing games, but now you're trying to figure out, how do I slot games back into my life? And I'm really loving the way that Mario Kart has balanced this. And again, I'm not trying to defend all games. I'm not trying to say like, wow, Nintendo is 100% okay, and it's like they don't do anything wrong. I think there is still a lot of discussion to be had about the pricing strategy. What I underestimated is how fun it would be to just turn it on, not have any goal, maybe not even do any fun stuff. I could drive around not using the drift button at all, and I think that would still be kind of fun. It's just go for it's like a scenic safari tour. It's like, I'm just sightseeing and driving my car around, enjoying these zebras. Maybe I can do a crazy through in between them. Now, one other thing I want to say is that in my initial video of Mario Kart, I hadn't really looked in the instruction manual. So actually stuff like this, just doing the basic jump, I didn't even know that you could do a speed up jump that goes straight. I didn't know that you can do a speed up jump where you can actually do a little spin. Hold on, I'll just do it. If I do like this, spin and then hold it, and you kind of flip. You do a barrel roll, the ancient Star Fox meme. I didn't really understand the aspect of using this move here so that you can actually roll yourself onto, I think you can like roll yourself onto walls like this. That's how you jump. You like do the jump, spin, and then you spin yourself onto a wall, and then you basically do the ninja run up the wall. I have not even been looking at the screen for half the time, and I'm still in this knockout race. Knockout race? Yeah, knockout the race. Knockout race. It's so enjoyable, and it's a visual feast as well. I feel like no matter how many times I see it, just conceptually, it's so strong. driving through these floating platforms in the sky, driving from a desert area to Peach Beach Stadium or whatever it is. So really what I wanted to do was update you on my thoughts on Mario Kart a couple weeks after playing it. And first of all, I want to apologize to Mario Kart for not giving it a chance earlier. I kept looking at my download code for Mario Kart World, which came with the console. I was like, I don't know. Do I really want to jump into a race where I don't know if I'm going to win just because the blue shell might hit me at the last minute? I'm so happy to discover, after that initial video and playing the game more, that Free Roam and Knockout Tour are like so good, in my opinion, that I don't even feel much need to play Grand Prix mode anymore. I always thought, like, I'm gonna go for a drive, I'm gonna do it in a proper driving simulator, like Gran Turismo. If I'm gonna go for a drive, I'll go in real life, where I can actually like drive myself to a park or something, or drive myself to a cafe. I am just really pleased with Mario Kart, and I just thought I'd share that with you. I think videos that share negative opinions about games are also important. I'm not trying to discount any of that. I just wanted to share that I've been really enjoying Mario Kart, and if you've been looking at this game and thinking, yeah, but you know, I don't really care about racing. I don't want to like, the whole aspect of like competitive racing doesn't interest me. This wildly opens up the canvas to the number of like types of people and who can enjoy this game, especially if you're grown up. You don't have a lot of time to play games, or even if you do have time to play games, it feels like a waste of time when you're doing it. Another discussion for another time, but you know where to find me if we're going to have those chats in the future. Listen up. I've been NihongoGamer. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Look forward to maybe some more updates on Mario Kart or Nintendo Switch 2 or other games that I play in the future. Be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see those videos. I will see you all real soon.